I recognize that this is an important day. This is the anniversary date for the Team Unity administration. And I want to congratulate all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for making the wise choice in choosing Team Unity. So I say thank you to all the people of our beloved country. It is important that on this day, when we are celebrating and commemorating the coming or the advent of the Team Unity administration, we are here in Broadview, in Bastille, indicating that another of our pledges to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis is being fulfilled. Today, we step it up from PEP to STEP. Step up and rise. We heard Miss Knight said to us in her poem. And clearly, this is the opportunity which we are affording all and sundry. An opportunity to step it up. An opportunity to rise to a higher calling, an opportunity for greater empowerment, an opportunity, as it were, to be empowered. Over the last 2 years, we grappled with the reality of a PEP program, conceived hastily in 2012 in an effort to help the government then in its pre-election organizing. PEP, when it started, was intended to run for 6 months in the first instance. You heard the Deputy Prime Minister say to you before me, 4 years after, we are still with PEP. PEP grew and it ballooned in terms of the numbers. When it started in 2012, according to the minutes of the meetings that were held, it was intended to absorb a maximum of 1,000 persons. By the time of the elections of 2014 or thereabout, with elections imminent, the program had mushroomed to near 4,000 persons. The CDB, when they came into the country to evaluate the program, reported then that PEP had become a device to hide, to mask the underemployment and the high level of unemployment in the country. In other words, the PEP program was being used to conceal the structural impediments in the economy, an economy that was not growing adequately to allow the young people, in particular, the opportunities to be gainfully employed. In our campaign for the last election, we said that we will maintain the good of the PEP program. We said that we will continue while we reform and we restructure. And after 2 years, I am happy that we can come here to tell you that from today, PEP is no more. We have stepped up to the new entity, Skills Training and Empowerment Program, to uplift our people. I want to commend Permanent Secretary Mr. Asbert de Souza, because he had the challenging task of ensuring a smooth and orderly transition from PEP to STEP. PEP had become the largest single employer of persons in the country. The civil service is just about 4,500 plus. The PEP program at one point coveted with the civil service in terms of the number of employees. And therefore it was a huge, bulky, and complex program which Mr. D'Souza had to manage and to bring in line. Today, this transition has been effected smoothly and without turmoil. For that, Mr. D'Souza deserves a round of applause. During the last 2 years, we managed equally to take hundreds of persons who were in temporary placement on the P.E.P. and to ensure that they receive full-time employment in both public and private sectors. I want again to thank Mr. D'Souza and his support team for the invaluable work in that regard. We now have them full-time in the Customs Department and in other areas of the civil service. We ensure that they were full-time at Lyme, at Social Security, and in other entities which had hitherto been the beneficiary of their service. What was wrong with P.E.P. was not only that it was hastily conceived, it was not only that it had become unwieldy, it was also that it was poorly managed. When we look through the report I refer to is a report from the S.T.E.P, the review of the Tibet programs in St. Kitts and Nevis, prepared by Paulette Dunpear, the Tibet consultant. And when you examine that report, the report tells you, among other things, that St. Kitts and Nevis had developed some curriculum out of Jamaica, the HEART program in Jamaica. And in choosing the curriculum for training, St. Kitts and Nevis adopted a training module that had become outdated, no longer in vogue. Imagine that. P.E.P. then was being run and managed by persons such as Nigel Carty and others. And they, the educators, undertook to use an outdated program, outdated since 2007, to train our people. Clearly there were implications for the labor market, and no wonder so many of them had to remain on the P.E.P. program because the training module could not properly prepare them for modern day times. That, of course, was one of the problems. Significantly, because of the size and because of the political opportunism at work in the program, P.E.P. became a hemorrhage on the public sector. In other words, it was costing too much to maintain P.E.P. And that is why the IMF, time after time, warned that P.E.P. could not become part of the permanent establishment of the government. Because if P.E.P. had become that, it would have been identical or equivalent to creating another public service of the same magnitude. And that, of course, would not work. The cost of P.E.P. to the public sector to date is a whopping $214 million. Imagine that. The government sector has spent on P.E.P. program to date $214 million. That is a lot of money. That is nearly $250 million And I want you to contemplate clearly what $214 million could have done to the modernization and the proper development and training, not just of our country, but of our people and the residents here. $214 million it has cost this country to maintain a program intended to give electoral lift to the administration which was on its way out. Imagine how many of you could have had your own homes had that money been properly spent. $214 million is the price tag today. Tomorrow, we launch another important manifesto commitment. Our team, Unity Housing Solutions, and all of you are invited to come out, Wellington Road and Baker's Corner area, where we have the symbolic breaking of that particular program, launch of that program. We have said that we will take $50 million to provide homes for 300 families. 50 million will bring housing to 300 families. Multiply 50 by 4, 1,200 families plus could have benefited had they put the money into alternative uses. Every young woman and every young man who would have applied to the NHC for a home would have been able to benefit from that home. That is how you must imagine it. That is how you must look at it. The last administration devised S.T.E.P, and it has cost this country $214 million to maintain it. What could $214 million, what could that have done for the development of our country? What could it have done to pave the roads left unpaved? What could it have done to bring modern health services to St. Kitts and Nevis? $214 million. And the Barstow High School was left unattended. $214 million could have built out the security infrastructure and make our country the safest country in the Caribbean. $214 million could have ensured that through the use of radar technology, our Coast Guards would have been well surveyed, surveillance system put in, and the guns and the drugs which come through the porous borders, an end would have come to that had there been better management and more judicious application of $214 million. $214 million could have built a modern court and judicial complex, rather than now it becomes a job for Team Unity. $214 million is the opportunity cost forfeited by our people from having to deal with an unwieldy and complex S.T.E.P program intended merely to satisfy the political expediency of the day. And so today represents a fresh start, a new beginning in the way in which we manage the finances of the country. Today, as we ask our people to step up and rise, we say that in the new S.T.E.P program, we want all of the participants to be aware. There will be proper work ethics encouraged. And so those on the program who are not working, they shall not expect any pay. We want to promote industry because laziness is not a virtue. Laziness is not to be encouraged. The young men on the S.T.E.P program should be working so that they can earn, so that when they have their child support, they are able to pay it rather than have themselves going behind bars because they are unable to do so. We want to bring virtues back again to our country and a new value system. We want those on the program to pick up the value, step up to punctuality at work. We want you to step up to good behavior at all times. And we want to incentivize those on the program who have all of these good values and appropriate work ethic. Yes, we want to prepare, as the Deputy Prime Minister said, some of the participants for a better level of organization, and those who are among the best should move into self-employment. Yes, we want to ensure that the skills of our people in the 18 areas outlined by Permanent Secretary D'Souza, those skill sets are being enhanced and persons are being prepared to seize the opportunity. So today we signal by stepping up onto the S.T.E.P program that we want to take our country to a higher place. We want to free the minds of our people to the finer values of industry, of creativity, ingenuity, enterprise, and entrepreneurship. We urge them to reach to the stars. The Permanent Secretary promises that we will get value for money, that we will see an improvement in our national competitiveness, that we will see an improvement in national productivity. We welcome that promise from him, and we hope that those who are participating in the S.T.E.P program will treat it and treat the opportunity provided by them through this program with the seriousness it deserves. Thank you very much for coming out to the launch of this program, and I know you, the participants, can step up and rise to the occasion. May God bless the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and may God bless our beloved country. I thank you.